My name is Agal Parkam. I am professor of space research at the University of Winteresh, the great metropolis of the planet Bonadea. I will talk about the legendary Odyssey of the Galaxy 1. Forgive my bad pronunciation. I learned English a few days ago. They were on their way for 4 years now. The 5-man crew of the old disused space shuttle, the Galaxy 1, had once brought settlers to the planet Bonadea. Then the communication with the Earth was interrupted. The settlers sent Captain Oxenstierna and his crew back to the home planet. The mission? Receiving contact. It was too late. The Earth was destroyed. From the data fragments that reached the crew, no clear picture of the course of events and the reasons could be won. Shocked and traumatized, they left the horrible place. Sometime, during the way back, they met the Galaxy 4. The sister ship of the Galaxy 1 was hijacked by the Lizardmen. Probably the lizards destroyed the special navigation system of the Galaxy 1. Only with this system, they can find the wormhole, the way back to the planet Bonadea. Now the Navigator Gruner had somehow calculated the course to the planet Kassel. The famous Meldon 22. He lives there. A computer being. With a supernatural organic brain. So they say. Perhaps Meldon was a lifesaver for the Galaxy 1. Others warned. Meldon is crazy. He considers himself to be the true explainer of the universe. Many astronauts have disappeared in his night castle forever. So they say.
Oh, Commander Oxenstierna. Come into my house of the night sounds. You want to learn.
Oxenstierna doubted his own sanity.
Then see and listen carefully.
In front of him stood really Alexander, his son.
The light is always on the move.
Only Alexander had been killed a long time ago, when he was a 17-year-old boy. In this moment started the maneuver of the two psi specialists of the Galaxy 1. Would a telepathic attack on Meldon's databases remain unnoticed?
The shadows remain in motion, but the shadow needs the light.
Andrik and Hyde were trained on the military college for supernormal talents in Winteresh, but they were still inexperienced. Oxenstierna felt that he was in danger. Hayden and Dirk searched for the legendary antivirus programs. Brutal, organically controlled hunters. These marvels of computer technology worked in packs. The so-called ATILLA wolves. They were certainly owned by Meldon 22.
Now the sound is the essence. The harmony and the relations of sounds in motion is the essence of all.
The philosophical computer explained the principles of the worlds. In a long verbosity. And in love with himself. Well, then he does not notice our attack, thought Oxenstierna. Suddenly Oxenstierna heard the clear voice of his son. In his mind. I know about the virus that prevents to find wormholes. I know it from your telepathic warriors. Stop the attack. Before I kill them. Why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask for help? Father.
You wonder why I look like Alexander, Captain. Alexander is a part of me. Like all his young friends. At least, the most important of them, is now a part of me. The computer brain can't never be as perfect as the brains of young humans. The brains from supernatural, highly talented, young military cadets. Particularly, after hundreds of millions of years of evolution on Earth.
Captain Oxenstierna was shocked. But somehow the old officer controlled himself. Alexander's brain continued to live here with Meldon, and the brains of his comrades. He remembered, all cadets of a year group were killed in the old days in Sweden. So it was said. Wrong. The guys were kidnapped by this criminal. All the lads very high talented, they were kids. This monster needed their brains to enrich his intellectual performance. The crew was starting to get nervous. Particularly Gruner, and Officer Alice. Why does it take so long? The conversation between Oxenstierna and the crazy computer? It was hard to keep his five senses to each other. For Oxenstierna, he saw the armed Amazons, who suddenly surrounded him, and he was amazed, half child women, half robots. Meldon 22 was a modern, unscrupulous Frankenstein. Then the darkness. It was useless to resist, he lost consciousness. Again he heard Alexander's voice. We have decided, your brain in exchange against the ATILLA wolves. What do you think about? Obviously, you need the antivirus wolves so desperately. The telepathic battle that now entered the decisive phase was insane. The young Hyde stopped trying to get directly to the wolves. Futile. One of the imprisoned cadets contacted telepathically the fighters of the Galaxy 1. Then a second caught Brain. This was followed by almost all other prisoners. Was this the beginning of a rebellion? The rebels succeeded in what the fighters of the galaxy failed, to activate the wolf programs. The wolves identified the central brain of Meldon 22 as virus infected. By mistake. That's why they had been wisely disabled by Meldon 22. Gruner could not stand it anymore on the Galaxy 1. Something goes horribly wrong down there, he growled to Alice, the commanding officer. I'm going down there. Alice smiled grimly. Good luck. Save the big war horse. The ATILLA wolves and the rebellious brains had done a great job. Meldon's central brain was turned off and dumb. Alexander was elected by all prisoners. He was now the leader of the liberated brains. The cruel computer creature Meldon 22 was changed in a new, free organic cybernetic community. Oxenstierna and his son Alexander still had much to discuss before the Galaxy 1 started for the return journey.